Alright, so this is Alan of BTS here with Sal's 1970 240Z. The sun is finally out, and did a fresh oil change with M1 1550 synthetic. Since last time, the car did receive a Simtech front-mounted intercooler kit with a Greddy core. I believe it's an LS spec, as well as a Tile, authentic Tile blow-off valve with the 10-pound spring, I believe. So the goal here is to do wide open throttle tuning, of course fine tuning, but making sure that the power is there this time since I stopped at open throttle. So this involves doing second, third, all the gears, all the revs, everything else that I did not get to last time. Slim fans are hot wired right now. Currently at 165 degrees Fahrenheit coolant temp, according to Tuner Studio. Yeah, let's see what happens during a pull. You can also tell the car is a lot quieter. A Magnaflow muffler was installed, as well as a small resonator. The exhaust note is a lot more tolerable, and it suits the car a lot better for streetability with the occasional track visit that this car will see. Do a small second gear here and see what happens. Sounds nice, that's for sure. Right, had to do a couple of tweaks to the fuel map. Wasn't too bad, but the car is running a little warm with the slim fans. I know a vented hood is in the works, so just making do how to drive around, get her to cool off. Another second gear here. See what happens. Second gear pull, I did a couple of tweaks to the fuel map. Hopefully everything looks better. There you go. Attempt a third gear pull here. I think it's ready. Let's see what kind of baseline numbers we're looking at. The gears are short enough. There you go.
that's it.
She's pulling really well now at 7 pounds, even with a potential or suspected wastegate boost controller issue. Underhood heat soak is somewhat of an issue at a standstill without movement, so I did wrap with DEI thermal wrap the charge pipes. You can see here, there. Also did a makeshift heat shield to kind of isolate the turbo. Expand upon it later. She's doing really well. I want to say it's about sub 70 duty cycle at 4K. This is with the old original injectors, so who knows what's going on there. A 3-row Champion aluminum racing radiator, or maybe not racing, but 3-row aluminum radiator from Champion is already on order with another fan, so that should help a lot, as well as adding 2 vents to the hood, symmetrical side by side toward the back. When I test out the D-cell fuel cut, make sure my initial settings are hopefully spot on. If that's smooth, I'll do a final 3rd gear pull and finally pass the car back to Sal so that he can enjoy her for a while until he decides on taking the next step, pulling the trigger on that. See what happens. Squirt, it is called overrun fuel cut, which is essentially the same thing. So yeah, a combination of the underhood heat control, I mean the start of it anyway, as well as the D-cell fuel cut really is helping with the coolant temps. Yeah, this heat wrap's definitely helping, and this shit's pretty fucking warm and hot, I should say. You can touch it here, right off the turbo, it's really hot. I don't even want to touch this heat shield. That shit's fucking hot. Ooh, but yeah, it's working really well. I decided not to wrap the downpipe just because it's aluminized steel and I do not want it to rust prematurely. At least the intercooler piping and plumbing is all aluminum. But the shield is doing a great job, as are the wrap, or as is the wrap. Hurrah.